Hello and welcome to another exciting edition of Trucking Answers, where I go over the Driver Bill of Rights, this series, and there are 11 points for Operation Black and Blue that's coming up, and these Bill of Rights are going to be presented in Washington, D.C. All right, so today let's talk about 24/7 dispatch availability. This is a point in there that drivers who work at night should have a dispatcher, or anytime really, a dispatcher available to call, or somebody to call that's in a position of authority who can solve a problem for a driver. They don't want a dispatcher to go home at 5 o'clock and then at 2 in the morning they have a problem and it takes 40 calls to get to somebody to wake them up, and then they got to figure out what to do. It can be very frustrating. All right, so they say if you're running all night or whenever you're running, there should be somebody on the other end of that phone who's awake, who's at work, who can make decisions, who can solve your problem if you have a problem 1,000 miles away. Consider this, owner-operators. Here's the downside of it. If they impose this on motor carriers, an owner-operator with his own authority is a motor carrier. Will you then be required to have a phone service or somebody available for you to call so that you can be in compliance? And will that cost you money? And if you say, well, we will only, we'll restrict it so that the number of trucks somebody has is where it is. So at 10 trucks, 20 trucks, or whatever, that's where it is. Well, so that means people that work for very small, maybe owner-operators that have a few trucks, and they have problems at night, they're a driver, they don't get impacted by this. They just have to suck it up. So you got to be careful on what you wish for on this. Now, I agree there should be somebody available, absolutely. And so if you have a lot of problems at night and can't get a hold of somebody, you know what I always say, it's time to move on. There's plenty of jobs, especially if you're a company driver. Now, if you're an owner-operator leased to a carrier, it should be the same thing. There should be somebody available for you to take your calls to solve your problems at night. And if you have your own authority, then I guess you have to solve your own problems. That's probably how it works. But you don't want to be imposed on this as a motor carrier, where they say all motor carriers have to have somebody 24/7 available. Like, can you count yourself? I guess if you're sleeping, then there has to be somebody else available, because the Bill of Rights say 24/7 availability. 24/7 availability. Okay, so consider that. I do think somebody should be available for you, though. Please consider it, and stay tuned for more of these Bill of Rights and other things at Trucking Answers. Thanks for watching.